What's going on, you guys? Scatter Report here with Landan Spilsbury. So we just came back from Dallas. We're here at the airport in like a really lousy spot, really. But we're doing a deck profile of the deck that he played in teams for Dallas and in San Diego. And he only lost one match. Drew a couple times, but won majority of his matches. Really spicy deck. We want to get it on the channel for everybody to see. So we're gonna get into it a little bit. Talk about your matchups, at least today, or yesterday.
I'll do both.
Okay, do both.
Well, I went undefeated yesterday. Personally, my team didn't, but I did in the team's event, so that was fun. But it was only singles. It wasn't match. San Diego, we made top 8. I was the A slot in both of these events. I only lost one match in San Diego to GT Broly. Everything else was either a win or a draw, which is kind of the goal for Super Shenron. You win game 1 and then either force the draw in game 2 or force a draw anyway. So, like Carlos said, this is a very good deck for team events.
Super Shenron leader.
When you don't need to worry so much about Nimbus or Broly decks or High to Mastery. This deck loses to all 3 of those cards, even with a good sideboard. So don't play it in the single event, because you will lose.
Right.
Team events, it's great.
Team event is
And
great,
locals.
great deck. All right, let's get into it.
So let's get into it. Everyone knows what Super Shenron does. Everyone hates it. Hopefully you don't hate this. I've had a number of people quit on me just because they see the leader, and then they love it when they watch me play the deck because it's something new. Super Shenron, you tap it, search 2 Dragon Balls. When you get 7 in the drop, you grab a Dragon Ball, add it back to your hand, you awaken. The best thing about the leader, besides the draw effect and the play free wish, is the fact that you can shuffle back your entire deck. What I like to utilize this for is not so much pushing aggressively, but the fact that you can mill your entire deck and then shuffle it all back and not worry about the consequences, which is really big in this deck. Unlike the other Storm variants, we don't push out Bulmas as much, or Storm cards, or anything that can help us combo and just keep going through our deck. We start very slow, and then when I play one of our biggest bomb card, it immediately places so many cards in the drop that nobody sees it coming. It doesn't expect you to be able to go off and use your second wish on turn 3. It's the same speed as the regular Storm Shenron, which makes it super effective, but again, just loses to 3 meta cards and not very effective in singles. So let's get into it. As it says in the description, this is a Vegito-based deck. So we play 4 Saiyan Duo Son Goku. This is the heart and soul of the deck. You need to mulligan hard for this on top of your Dragon Balls. If you see this, you keep it. When you play it on turn 2, you discard a card and play a Saiyan Duo Vegeta from the drop or the deck, which is really big. When he's played, he untaps the blue energy. So essentially, you're playing both of these cards for 1 energy. When they're both on the field together, they give each other 9,000 attack, or 9,000 power. So Goku, the Vegeta will be in rest mode, but you get a free attack out of Goku for 10,000. That's your normal turn 2 play. You then, if you can mulligan for this as well, play this for the single energy that he restood on top of these by Portaring. When he's Portared, you draw 1 card when he's played, you draw an additional 1 if he's played through Union. So you're playing these 2 cards, tapping energy, drawing 2 on your turn 2. If you're able to awaken on turn 2 by this point, that's when you can do your normal wish plays and extend your plays with Bulmas. Maybe play a second one of these and a second one of these if you're lucky enough to have them. But this is your standard turn 2 play. So pretty slow so far. We've only got 2 attacks here on turn 2. But after that is where it starts to kick off. Your other 2 Vegito packages, which come in very clutch in the late game if you're able to draw them. We play Vegeta World's Strongest Candy and Vegeta at Full Throttle. Both of these are your turn 3 and turn 4 plays, and you need to charge them only. They can only be played from the energy area. You get them out by tapping 2 energy for Vegito's powers combined, and you will tap this, or tap down 2, put this in the energy, and play one of these 2. You have to play Vegito equal to or less than your energy, so you normally play the Strongest Candy, which is just a free 15k attack that can then bounce back into the Vegeta powers combined for free and draw another card.
Draw a card. It's pretty much draw 3 with 3 attacks on turn 2.
If you're lucky on turn 2, normally it's a turn 3 where you're able to draw additional cards. This is really, really good when you shuffle your entire hand back and you're able to start drawing immediately, rather than wait for your new turn to start. Once you get up to 4 energy, you're able to play one of our finishers, which is Vegito at full throttle.
He's got
It's
dual
a
attack,
double strike, dual attack, and he can bounce back a card with barrier, but that doesn't really ever come up. But he's one of the biggest finishers just simply because he's able to do dual attack and double strike. If you can get this on turn 4 before you do your second turn, then you're going to have 4 different attacks with a dual attack, double strike. It's 25k. It's really hard to get over. As we know, the normal Super Shenron deck only attacks with small beaters. We're attacking with a bunch of 20k or higher. As for the biggest bomb, this is your turn 3 play. If you can get another Goku and Vegeta out, you play Lightning Speed Vegeta. You'll also need a Senzu Bean in hand for this to work. So your turn 3 will be play a Goku, discard a card, play a Vegeta, untap 1, so now you're at 2 energy. You'll swing at the Goku, or whatever else you have on board. Play a Senzu Bean, so he goes up to 15. Now you have 3 energy up. You'll then Portara into this, so you got a 25 single strike meter. You'll swing, and ideally, you go into an old school broken card. Bursting Energy Super Saiyan Vegito. This is the best card in the deck for a number of reasons. You've just milled 10 cards. If you can discard this from your Goku early on, you will guarantee to get it in the drop. And then you mill 10, play this on top of it. He has incredible synergy with these Vegito cards because he can crit your life and restand 2 energy. Which if you're taking your second turn, which you will once you play this because you've just put 10 additional cards in your drop, on 1 turn you'll restand 2 energy, which allows you to bounce back these back and forth or play additional Child's Wishes or Gokus. And that's on 1 turn. You'll then, you're adding an additional card to your drop area, which is super good to get more cards in there when you take your second turn. But then on your second turn, you're able to do it again. So you're just getting 4 free energy at the cost of 2 life when playing this card. And it's a 25 double strike attacker twice. So this is the Vegito package. Nobody sees this coming again. Once you play this out, you're gonna have maybe 5 to 6 cards in drop by turn 2, so they don't expect you on turn 3 to go off. So most people will tap out. You do this combo again, now you're at 16 to 17 cards in drop once you play this, and you're able to combo a lot more. Once you start bouncing these back and forth, these 2 will drop off, so there's an additional 2 cards in your drop. You get your Bomas and your Child's Wishes going, you're going to fill up your grave immediately on turn 2, or on turn 3, and they can't really stop you once you bring out these. So this is the key combo of the deck. Again, different than Storm, so people get excited when they see it. They don't know what they're playing against. That's why it's done so well in teams, because everyone expects Storm. They mulligan hard for the cards that they want to beat Storm, and then you start playing down blue energy with Vegito pieces, and they have absolutely no idea how the cards work or what to beat. Another standard, just our regular Super Shenron cards, we have 3 Crisis Crusher to stop Masayan, Whis, and Orgos. Those don't hurt as much as the other decks do, because you're not so much relying on the Bulma to restand your energy. It just sets you back a turn. All these restand cards, the Bulma included, are all optional, so you don't necessarily have to worry too much about Whis and Borgos. But this helps, especially against the Skillless deck, because on top of losing to Broly, if Broly KOs your Vegito, your turn's over. It's the same thing with Skillless Goku. If they can get out multiple Android 8s and multiple Skillless Gokus, you can't do anything with your deck. They'll stop it, and it's Drax. So you play the Skillless Goku against, or the Crisis Crusher against them, pop whatever they can. Not only does it stop their plays, but then it forces them to start playing random things to get rid of your Crisis Crusher, like a Krillin on turn 2, and they might not have a Skillless card in their drop to play with it. It changes their aggressive strategy into a more defensive, and you just keep spamming out your Crisis Crusher with your Child's Wishes until you're ready to go out.
And then if you're on the play and they tap out for Krillin, you can just kill them the next turn.
Right.
Because they won't have any Android 8s out or Kid Qs out, so they'll just die.
Right. That's the beauty of it. 4 Senzu Beans. It's blue. It's needed. Again, it gets you to play your Lightning Speed Vegito on curve. Great card. Otherwise, you can use it on your full throttle Vegito to get them up to 30 to 35k, double strike, dual attack, and everywhere else you need it. We play 2 Preface of Recovery. This is mostly just used for an additional blue mana if you need it, but it's in there as well just for untapping energy if there's ever a weird time where you never see Bulmas or Gokus, but almost, I'd say 99% of the time it just becomes additional blue mana. We play 4 Explorer Bulma. It's the best card in Super Shenron deck, solely for the untap and mill 2. If it's not in here, I don't know how You maybe still a bit of a way on time with Lightning Speed Vegito, but it's probably still the best card in the Super Shenron deck, along with 4 Child's Wish. Again, standard Super Shenron package. You play it. You play a battle card with 1,500 or 15,000 or less power from your drop. Easy, free.
Yeah, you can get this Goku back, which gets Vegeta, which untaps 1, so you can go into Vegeta. It's just broken.
3 Dragon Raider. I'd play a 4th one if I had room, but this deck is incredibly tight. I don't even run any negates or anything else, just because it's so important to have these ratios.
No negates, huh?
No negates. Great for teams. Again, you don't have to worry too much about Nimbus. So Dragon Raider is great. Again, you pull back the Child's Wish if you need it. That's really all it's there for. Just when you start going off on your second turn.
You can draw 2 also. It's not terrible.
Not terrible. 4 Temporal Rescue Trunks. What I find with this deck, as opposed to other Super Shenron lists, is most of the other Super Shenron lists will end their turn with, or take their second turn with maybe 20 to 21 to 22 cards, so they don't really have a lot of extra room to play Temporal Trunks. So they usually play the Roshi instead, just because they need to get down to the 4 life. With this deck, you don't really care too much about that. With the Vegito, I've gotten up to 31 cards in drop, so I keep 7 in there most of the time, just because you can plan this out to where if you have 11 to 12 cards left in deck and you play this, you'll get down to 1 card in deck immediately and have this gigantic drop area. So we're able to abuse Temporal Trunks a little bit more. We don't even play Overrealm. Sparking works for us just fine. And then, of course, you got your Severin standard Dragon Balls.
Standard Dragon Balls.
That's all you need.
All right. So, is there a sideboard? I mean, because I know Dallas was best of 1. But if there is a best of 3 format for this team deck, what would your sideboard be?
For teams, again, the decks that you outright lose to are Height of Mastery, Broly, and Nimbus cards. Nimbus you can't really do anything about because we don't have room to put in a yellow package for the battering laser. You just kind of have to stop and wait another turn. The Senzu Bean, of course, helps with that. Any deck that's running Nimbus, well, at least the Super Shenron decks that are running Nimbus are usually the smaller ones, unless it's Height of Mastery. But Senzu Bean is one of the best cards against any other type of Storm Super Shenron list. So you just save those and wait and be able to last another turn and hopefully don't have another Nimbus. Broly is very difficult because you're taking the same strategy as Broly. You're not spamming a giant board out like you do with Super Shenron, which allows you to beat Broly pretty easily by attacking with a bunch of different tiny attackers. We're playing a similar strategy to Broly where we go wide but we go tall at the same time. So if they're able to stop any one of these chains, any one of the Goku swings, any one of the Vegito swings, you've just lost your entire tempo for the turn, and you can't really recover from that. So what you do for Broly, my side deck is mostly just to beat Broly. It's Haruharus, it's additional preface of recoveries, it's just a bunch of little attackers that I can swap out this entire Vegito engine and just go, or not the entire Vegito engine, but a lot of these bomb cards that I won't be able to get to in time without having to worry about them being caught by Broly. So I just take the standard approach for making it more of a standard Super Shenron deck against Broly with a bunch of small attackers. Height of Mastery is just difficult in general. Again, we don't really have room for negates. I did side like Whis' Coercion was the only thing I did, and you essentially just keep up 4 energy against Height of Mastery decks, and knowing that they're going to tap down 3 and hopefully you can survive a little longer. You can do Power Burst too, just for that free negate as you can. Otherwise, it's not too bad.
What about Heavenly Wizard Demigra?
That's another option too. Yeah, but I feel like that's easier to play against if they know you're siding in hate for Broly. They'll try and stick with the 6-drop, and that will only get the 8-drop in the secret rare. And I feel like once they get those out, you're in a really bad position anyway. They're usually trying to win by that turn. So yeah, otherwise, this is the deck. Great for teams again, great for locals. I'm glad someone was finally, I see everyone wanting to build a Vegito list that works, and in my opinion, nothing really works. Except for the Super Shenron leader, just because you're able to spam out all these giant attacks and do them all over again at once. The opponent doesn't have a chance to start countering these on their turn by popping them. They have to do it, again, with Broly or something that they can pop defensively. The fact that you're able to swing with all these big boys, 2 turns in a row on turn 3 or turn 4, is absolutely broken.
All right, cool. Thanks for the deck profile. Make sure to try to subscribe to the channel if you can. It's a sweet deck to play at locals especially. if you want to have fun, because this is his favorite deck right now. Like, he's having a lot of fun with it and good success at the same time. So yeah, go ahead, give it a try, and we'll see you later. Is there any shout outs you want to give for your deck and all this stuff?
Yep. Shout out to Scatter Report, the best boys, the Spice Boys, my team for top 8 in San Diego, and Top Caliber Gaming, the best card store in Arizona.
All right.
Stay super.